Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Wendy Chen. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in today's top stories, city volunteers are tending to fire victims in both the Philippines and Indonesia by handing out relief supplies. In today's feature report on Mount Lee, we see how the building of 2 water discharge tunnels solves landslides and land erosion problems. And in Taiwan, students at the Hualien City Elementary School are practicing hard for their upcoming musical at the end of March. First up in the Philippines, another 2 fires broke out in Quezon City, a Valenzuela city, leaving more than 400 families without roofs over their heads. Meanwhile, a short circuit triggered a blaze in Indonesia that affected 375 households. To help fire survivors in the Philippines and Indonesia, city volunteers in both countries arrived at temporary shelters, bringing much-needed emotional support and relief supplies.
Shoveling at the debris left after the merciless fire is Surya Aswari, who is scavenging for usable items in a place that she once called home.
When the fire broke out, I wasn't at home, and my children tried to look for me and couldn't reach me. It wasn't until I returned home that I realized my house was on fire, and most of the items were already destroyed.
A fire broke out in the village of Wilayah Padamanga in North Jakarta due to a short circuit, affecting a total of 375 households. Currently, some fire survivors have returned home to set up temporary tents, but many are still living at a shelter.
My husband has limited mobility, so when the fire started, he couldn't run. It was my children that pulled him out of the fire. He told my children to save the items first before saving him. Thankfully, in the end, we were able to save him.
For those families left homeless, they were moved to a local gym. Upon receiving the news, Jakarta city volunteers quickly arrived with relief supplies.
There are a lot of households that were affected by the fire. Other than the support from the government, I thank charity groups like Tzu, who is here to provide much-needed emotional support to all the disaster victims.
Thank you to the volunteers for giving us canvas tents. With them, we can find a place to set up a temporary shelter so we don't have to live without a roof over our heads. We can also start a little business to earn money and rebuild our house soon.
Moving to the Philippines, in just one day, 2 fires broke out in 2 different cities, leaving more than 400 households homeless. After a disaster assessment, city volunteers have once again returned to the disaster site, but this time with good news.
I was in despair because I was left with nothing. I lost everything, but I'm still grateful because there are still people that are willing to help us.
I'm very happy. Although I lost everything, the volunteers are here to help us, and the rice provided by Tzu helps us a lot because we don't have to worry about going hungry for at least a week.
We lost everything in the fire and have to start over from zero. The relief supplies from Tzu gave us a good start on the road to recovery.
The long road to recovery has just begun for many of survivors. However, with Tzu's relief supplies, the victims can finally put aside their sorrows and find the courage to move on.
In Malaysia, Tzu volunteers from the Tzu Ipoh Liaison Office recently held a reunion banquet to which care recipients were invited to attend. Not only did volunteers organize free haircuts and medical checkups for the participants, but also prepared delicious vegetarian dishes for everyone to enjoy.
The sky is still dark outside, yet city volunteers from Ipoh, Malaysia are already busying themselves in the kitchen. Some are washing vegetables while others are chopping and dicing, cooking up a storm of mouth-watering vegetarian dishes. City volunteers also organized free medical checkups and haircuts on site, while Tzu's lead children in activities to educate them on recycling.
We want to let them understand why we shouldn't use plastic bags. For instance, teaching them when their moms go to the market or mall to buy groceries, how they can reduce the use of plastic bags.
series of activities organized by the volunteers catches the attention of each audience member. As the plates of vegetarian dishes are being served, volunteers assist on the side, treating the seniors like their own family.
At work, I'm the boss. At home, I'm the husband. And to my mom, I'm her son. But here at Tzu Chi, everyone is equal. We are all serving the community.
With the selfless giving of the volunteers, coupled with the gratefulness of the care recipients, this reunion banquet was extra heartwarming this year.
The 2013 Tzu Chi Global Entrepreneur Seminar came to an end this week. This year, close to 700 businessmen from around the globe gathered in Taiwan, where they exchanged thoughts and discussed the value and purpose of life. Let's take a look.
Here at the Global Entrepreneur Seminar, trainees from the United States get a taste of Taiwan's culture through delicious vegetarian dishes prepared by kitchen volunteers.
I am a big meat eater, and I thought I would be really hungry the whole time, but I haven't been hungry at all. In fact, I've been very full.
You know, I actually enjoy vegetarian type food. It actually was quite an experience.
Not only is each dish mouth-watering, they are packed with the volunteers' love as well. Du Yiwei, a trainee from China, says it was the care she received by the Tzu Chi hospital staff which moved her deeply.
My mother was ill a while ago, so I first returned to China, then back to Taiwan again. I was so stressed and anxious that I passed out, and I was admitted to the Taipei Tzu Chi hospital.
Inviting colleagues to join the seminar and sharing good moments with friends, some say attending the seminar has changed their lives.
And as I look back in my life, there are certain times, places, people you meet, things that happen that alter your life forever. And this has been one of them for me.
Upon visiting the Jingsi Books and Cafe, entrepreneur Fang Youquan from Malaysia aims to set up a Jingsi Books and Cafe and community learning center upon his return. With Fang's invitation, 12 other entrepreneurs also attended the training seminar.
Fang came to my office and invited me to go to Taiwan. The words slipped too quickly out of my mouth, and I agreed to go with him. Because I run a newspaper agency, I intend to include Jin's aphorisms into a section of our column.
With each other's encouragement, these entrepreneurs will continue to cultivate Tzu Chi missions at home.
In our second feature report on the changing faces of Mount Lee, we take you to the famous Lee San guest house, which was closed down for 13 years following problems with landslides and land erosion. The Water and Soil Conservation Bureau later spent almost $300 million to construct 2 massive water tunnels, which discharge water from the surrounding hills into the Dajia River. The project has been called a success and thus returning the area in and around Lee Mountain back to normal, allowing the guest house to reopen for business. Here's more.
With its exterior modeled after traditional temple architecture, the Lee San Guest House, Lee Mountain's first guest house and a favorite of Chiang Kai-shek, is certainly an arresting sight. However, earthquakes and flooding kept the guest house closed for 13 years, only to be reopened in 2012 thanks to the guest house's best-kept secret.
Want to discover the secret of the guest house? Then one must be prepared. Now that we have on our protective gear, we are ready to go.
The secret is this underground discharge tunnel that lies about 100 meters below the surface. Flowing without an end at the tunnel's entrance, the water gets channeled for household or business use. However, the volume of water raises the question of why are underground water sources so abundant here.
The water resources found in the forest is what we call underground water. When it rains, water will seep into the earth at various places where it will proceed to either flow down here, collect in one area, or give rise to a spring.
Walking along the tunnel brings surprises with every step, as we find limestone stalactites growing on the ceiling.
This tunnel passes through a section of calcareous earth, add to the constant dripping of water from the ceiling, and we get these limestone stalactites.
This drainage tunnel is currently one of the two built on Li Mountain, running for 350 and 550 meters respectively. Their job is to help prevent landslides in and around the area of the Lisan guest house.
They discharge 1 million cubic meters of water a year. The water is discharged into the nearby Dajia River and thus helps control the amount of underground water around Li Mountain.
In fact, the amount of water discharged yearly is equivalent to 1/10 of the Deji Reservoir. To handle such volume, built above the drainage tunnel are 16 collection wells. Taking the stairs down, we come to a 5-meter in diameter collection well. This is where the underground water from the mountain will flow to.
We first studied the underground route taken by the water and then built these collection wells, which are fed by transverse water pipes.
The water collection wells and drainage tunnels have been slowly bringing the level of Li Mountain's underground water under control. But the question remains, how safe is the Lisan guest house?
The area has already recovered to how it was before the disasters. There is always a risk, of course, so in the hills behind the guest house, we have installed 2 monitoring stations to continue to monitor the situation.
Although authorities continue to remain vigilant against future problems, it seems that the Lisan guest house will be enjoying its rebirth for a long time to come.
At the Hsinchu Lantern Festival in Taiwan, which will continue till March 10th, Tzu Chi volunteers are on site to promote recycling concepts. Students and parents from Tzu Chi's parent and child class joined the volunteers at the event in raising environmental awareness among festival goers.
Tzu Chi volunteers and students from Tzu Chi parent and child class seized the opportunity to promote and sort recyclables at the Lantern Festival in Hsinchu, Taiwan. Even the garbage can was not off limits in sorting recyclables.
Others had thrown recyclables into the trash, so we were picking through the garbage to sort them out.
Walking along the street with signboards in hand, everyone leaned on the strength in numbers to loudly promote the recycling slogan, bringing environmental awareness to passers-by.
Actually, one might be embarrassed at first, but when there is a group of us and everyone is shouting the slogan, and you see strangers saying the slogan along with you, or even telling you where there is a trash can, the embarrassment is quickly put aside.
The Lantern Festival in Hsinchu is very festive and clean. I hope residents that come to the event will throw litter away in the garbage can.
Seeing even members of the public supporting the cause by putting litter in its proper place, the Hsinchu Lantern Festival is enjoyed by all who visit.
In Taoyuan's Zhongli City, we meet 5th grader Xiao Yi. Last year, Xiao Yi caught a flu and suddenly fell into a coma. Later, her limbs turned black and have to be amputated. To encourage Xiao Yi through this difficult time, Tzu Chi volunteers invited Guo Weiqi to visit her at the hospital. Herself an amputee, Guo learned how to play the piano well enough to take place in national competitions. Thanks to Guo's encouragement, Xiao Yi's family found the strength to go on.
这个呢是一个妈祖的袋子。
Seeing the gift, Xiao Yi waves her hand to express her thanks. Following a cold, Xiao Yi's limbs turn black and will need to be amputated. To encourage Xiao Yi and her family, Tzu Chi volunteers brought Guo Weiqi and actors Yin Zhaode and Wu Linshan to visit her. Despite being amputated, Guo worked hard to learn piano. With the blessings of many, Xiao Yi's mother has found the strength to continue on.
I hope when Xiaoyi recovers, she can also play piano as well as Wei Qi does.
When I was in a coma, my mother told me that I can do whatever I want when I wake up, as long as it makes me happy. My feeding tube was full of blood at that time. 14 days after the coma, I woke up. My mother said to me that whatever I want to learn, she will let me learn.
With her mother's support, Guo becomes a great piano performer. Immersed in Guo's piano playing, Xiaoyi gradually falls into a peaceful state of mind.
She also had a similar experience, as she was in bed for a long time. Now she has recovered and has learned to play the piano.
The cell phone is playing Xiaoyi's singing before she was sick. Everyone hopes that after Xiaoyi recovers, they can still hear her adorable singing.
Seeing the situation, I feel myself so blessed.
Wei Qi slowly writes down her blessings to Xiaoyi.
Xiaoyi, you have to keep fighting. You are the best.
To thank Wei Qi, Tzu Chi volunteers arrange her idols of a DaAi drama to accompany her to visit Xiaoyi, making her dreams come true.
Staying in Taiwan but moving to Taichung, we meet 20-year-old Xu Yuwei, who was born with Down syndrome. Despite suffering from multiple disabilities since birth, Xu, with the encouragement of his parents, has learned to play the piano and ocarina. Following 8 years of hard practice, Xu successfully became a street performer.
Immersing himself in playing the piano is Xu Yuwei. The piano may be easy to learn for most, but for Xu, extra effort and time is needed at each step of the way. Xu's parents patiently accompany him during practice, and although there may be some mistakes, Xu's mother just encouraged him to try once again.
The efforts we put in before are now paying off. Yuwei keeps improving. His greatest encouragement comes from the applause of his audience.
Regardless of Xu's multiple disabilities, his family has never given up on him. Thanks to their support, Xu was recently certified as a street performer and now puts on regular music performances showcasing his hard work.
那你表演的时候，你开心吗？
开心，
喜欢吗？
非常喜欢。
Seeing Xu's improvements and success, his mother believes that as long as you put in the extra effort, anyone, even those with Down syndrome like Xu, can realize their dreams.
Sixteen teachers and students of the Hualien City College of Technology recently visited China's Fujian province and held a student recruitment event in Xiamen last Sunday, March 3rd, in hopes of giving those interested in studying abroad a different and positive learning environment. Putting on a sign language performance of their school anthem, students all agreed that they made the right decision to study at the Tzu Chi College of Technology in Hualien.
I didn't know anything about the school. It was only because the college was funded by the master, so I felt this is the place I wanted to study at.
Having studied in Taiwan for a semester already, Wei Li Wen is returning home to help her teacher organize a recruiting event where she shares her experience with others.
In regards to the school's curriculum, it is not too different from other schools, but at Tzu there are many humanitarian activities which helped us learn etiquettes.
With 3 openings made available to students in China, Tzu College of Technology hopes to guide students home and abroad to Hualien to experience a different learning environment. In Taiwan, at the end of this month, students from the Tzu Elementary School in Hualien will be putting on a performance of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents. To make sure the show is a success, students and Tzu volunteers seize the weekend as an opportunity to practice sign language.
Focusing their thoughts and reciting the lyrics, this group of students from the Tzu Elementary School in Hualien will be putting on a performance of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents at the end of March. Teaching the sign language to the students with extra attentiveness, sign language volunteer Shen Si-tong hopes to turn each student into a living bodhisattva.
There are no children that we cannot teach. There are only teachers that are using the wrong teaching method. It is the 3rd intensive training session we have had with these students, and because we are performing the same song, many of the children are a bit tired of it. We need to remind them that to have a successful performance, everyone needs to work hand in hand.
Thanks to the volunteers' hard work, these students are on their way to putting on a successful performance and, just as important, spreading the concept that family duties and virtuous deeds should never wait.
To ensure children in the remote areas of Hualien are guaranteed a healthy life, the Hualien Tzu Hospital regularly carry out health checks in local schools. Doctors and nurses plan to visit the 12 elementary schools in Shouling Township to teach students the right way to brush their teeth, starting with Suiyuan Elementary School. With their mouths wide open, medical staff from the Hualien Tzu Hospital are showing these children the exact part of their teeth that they haven't been brushing properly.
There are a large number of children with decayed teeth, and I think the main reason is because they don't brush their teeth properly. From the dental plaque, we can tell the children haven't done a good job in oral hygiene.
Doctors and nurses designed 6 different activities to help the 108 students from the Suiyuan Elementary School in Shouling Township learn to take note of their health condition, starting with maintaining a healthy oral hygiene.
We are promoting a healthy lifestyle to get the adults to quit smoking and chewing betel nuts. We open up many classes, but with no positive results. If we help the children develop good habits and go home to influence their family, that would be quite ideal, isn't it? So this is what we are doing right now.
Knowing prevention is always better than cure, medical staff hope through visiting the 12 elementary schools in Shouling to build fundamental knowledge for students to lead a healthy life ahead. We go back to Indonesia at the end of today's program. It is estimated that every 8 seconds, one person in Indonesia will need a blood transfusion, and over 400 million bags of blood are needed each year. Thus, Tzu is working with the Indonesia Red Cross to promote blood donation. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.